So today's talk is about, again, it's not gonna be a short talk, but it's going to be a very basic talk and about the aim of today's workshop is to discuss really basic occult sacred union principles and simplify them. So we can use them and the energy and the codes that they hold in this modern time. So I invite you to kind of feel into this workshop and open up your energy fields. Like right now, you can literally use your imagination to open up yourself to receive this information instead of trying to understand it logically, although you will know it logically also. So just imagining your energy field around your body is opening up and you see these golden waves moving towards you when I speak. And we set the intention to only receive codes of truth and of light. Okay. So let's continue. Let's begin talking a little bit. By the way, everyone, you can hear me, see me well. I just want to make sure I'm doing this correctly. If anyone can unmute themselves and just let me know that you can see and hear me well.
It's perfect. We can hear you very well.
Thank you, dear. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So let's begin with talking a little bit about Kabbalah and the occult. So Kabbalah stands as one of the most profound and esoteric paths to understanding the concept of the divine and our place within the cosmos. As a sex priestess, my journey through the realms of sacred union is deeply intertwined with the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah and the occult. Now, I don't study from Kabbalah, but the reason I study directly from the temple, the reason I wanted to have this class also about Kabbalah is how to explain it. So Kabbalah as a school of thought, so to speak, is the latest so-called modern school of thought that we had that still keeps some of the original codes of creation and some of the original codes, especially of the sacred union. And so I kind of wanted to combine the wisdom of the temple with Kabbalah and the occult, and so that we can dive deeper into this, and not just to give you the temple's perspective, but to show you that this wisdom of the temple exists in our world and we can utilize it. And unfortunately, I mean, even if we take the concept of what Kabbalah itself, Kabbalah itself took those original codes, so to speak, but distorted them into the religious kind of dark masculine religious idea. So we want to go back to the original codes. We want to go back to the original, to the source wisdom of everything. So hi, Maya Rose. I'm so happy you're here, babe. Maya Rose, welcome. I love you, girl. So thank you for being here, because I know you're in a retreat and this means so much to me.
Love you, Luna.
I love you, honey. So we're just getting started. I just kind of introduced this class a little bit. And just to let you all know, I told the people in the beginning, this is my first time working with Zoom. I was freaked out a little bit to do all the technical stuff, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. So I'm just really happy to connect with you all. So Kabbalah stands as, so I'm just going to continue. As a sex priestess, my journey through the realms of sacred union is deeply intertwined with the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah and the occult, as I said, because of how I described it. So, so these teachings provide a powerful framework, the Kabbalah and the occult teachings, for exploring the mysteries of the sacred sexuality and the sacred union, particularly the union of the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies. So today we'll delve into a variety of topics, including the bridal chamber, sacred union and the hero's gamos, the alchemical child, the tree of life, the alchemical marriage, Kundalini, and much more. This will be a lecture style workshop in which I go in depth into these concepts, and similar to the teachings in the sex priestess initiation, although over there I can obviously go a little bit deeper. Additionally, I'll show you how we can apply in the initiation. We also go deeper into showing how we can apply the actual principle in our personal lives and in our mission as a sex priestess, or as a woman, or as a man, or anything, and in the highest work aligned with our greatest mission. So let's begin talking about the concept of the bridal chamber. So the concept of the bridal chamber, or what is known as the sacrament of the bridal chamber, in the context of the sacred sexual union, has deep roots in ancient spiritual traditions, particularly with Gnosticism and certain mystical Christian sects. So it represents the ultimate sacred union between the divine feminine and masculine, both within an individual and between partners. This union is seen as a profound spiritual act that transcends the physical and leads to spiritual enlightenment, and as well as a reunion with the divine, like body and spirit. So the bridal chamber is symbolic of the sacred marriage, or what we know as the hieros gamos. Some of you may heard about this concept of the hieros gamos, between the divine feminine and masculine aspects. It's a metaphor for the union of the soul with the divine, where the individual achieves a state of spiritual completeness or wholeness. In a sexual context, it represents the union of partners in a way that transcends the physical and touches the divine. This concept also involves inner alchemy, where the merging of the inner masculine and feminine energies within oneself leads to the creation of the divine child, or the alchemical child, which we will discuss a little bit later, symbolizing spiritual rebirth or awakening. This inner union is essential for spiritual evolution. And it's not this concept of inner union, which I talk about all the time, also in my books and my videos and with people, it's not just a quick fix. It really requires one to have the utmost integrity and purification of the body, mind, and spirit. So it is a wonderful journey, definitely, to undertake. The alchemical child is the sacred fruit born from the union of the divine feminine and masculine within. So it is a symbol. The alchemical child is a symbol of ultimate integration. This pure alchemy, the point where duality dissolves into oneness. In the realm of the temple, this child represents the purest essence of transformation, the merging of polarities to create something pure and transcendent, a new consciousness that is evolved and expanded from the two polarities that have been united. So just as the sacred union births a higher state of being, the alchemical child is the embodiment of harmony, the divine spark of creation that arises when we align with our true essence, transcending the ego and embodying the soul's potential. This child is not physical, but an archetype, an energetic force representing balance, purity, and the path of evolution into fully awakened state. It really represents the purest of alchemy, and that's why it's one of the major symbols in alchemy itself. It is through the alchemical process of balancing, uniting masculine and feminine energies that this sacred child, the key to our spiritual evolution, is born. So in some mystical traditions, the bridal chamber is considered a sacramental ritual that initiates the participant into a higher state of consciousness. It's seen as a sacred act that sanctifies the physical union and elevates it to the divine level, making it a pathway to divine knowledge or gnosis. So this sacred union is also our key and the portal, a portal, because there are many portals in this journey, that can actually connect us directly to the source wisdom and gnosis and knowing, not just believing, right? Believing is the old world, but the actual knowing of truth, the purest of truth. Within Gnosticism, the bridal chamber is often depicted as the place, the space where the soul, represented as the bride, unites with the divine husband, kind of, so to speak, groom, often symbolizing Christ's energy. And that's the place of Christ. This union is believed to restore the soul to its original divine state and also bring us to original codes, transcending the material world and returning to the fullness of divine presence. So this is what I always speak about when I say the words original codes, original template, going back to our DNA codes. A lot of people say these words in the spiritual community, but I don't know how many people can actually know what that means. And we have to take the real sacred path of the sacred union in order to connect to that pure essence and return to our original codes. Otherwise, we're just going to be lost in this sea of lies, misinformation, and deceptive codes, I should say, also in this, especially in this day and age. So that's one reason why the physical body must be always at the highest level. We cannot always be perfect with the physical body, but it must be kept in the highest possible space, especially for those of us who actually want to connect directly to the truth of source. So any questions, by the way, from anyone? You can unmute yourself. I'm just going to give a minute if someone has a question before I continue or something they want to say. No? Okay. So if anyone has a question, please feel free to unmute yourself and you can ask a question. So in Kabbalah, the bridal chamber represents the profound and sacred union, again, like we said, of the divine masculine and feminine energies. And it symbolizes by the sfirot. Sfirot are the 10 spaces on the tree of life. And it's those 10 kingdoms of the tree of life. And that specific union of the bridal chamber it's symbolized especially with the sphira of Tiferet, which is there's not really an English word for that, but the closest thing is this divine pure beauty of the feminine principle. And then you have Malchut, which is kingdom. It's the masculine principle. These two on the tree of life represent hold the feminine and the masculine. This mystical union signifies the alignment and integration of these forces, leading to the spiritual wholeness and divine harmony. The bridal chamber symbolizes not only the cosmic relationship between these divine forces, but also the reunion of the soul with the divine. So it's not just the inner union, it's the union with the soul and the divine, and then you have the union with another human being, right? So we have different layers of this of the sacred union. Let me see. This is a very, very long talk, so I don't want to take too much of your time today. I can go on for hours about this. So another thing from the concept of Kabbalah, of the bridal chamber, it represents the sacred space where the union of Shekhinah. Some of you may heard about this word Shekhinah. This is a Hebrew word, and that is again. There's no word in English, but it is such a pure word, even energetically, and with the energy frequencies that this word holds. There's no other word like it, Shekhinah, and it really is that pure essence. That for me, it's that space, if I can kind of like give you an image, that purest space beyond the soul, right? Beyond the highest soul, where the divine mother is holding all of us in and is holding that divine union that we are creating within. But the Shekhinah, the divine mother, she also holds everything else. She can hold the dark and the light. She doesn't just hold her, she holds everything and everyone within her. So the union is not only symbolic of the merging of divine opposites, but also reflects the internal alchemical process of uniting the soul with its higher divine purpose. So, okay, let me see if this is relevant for right now, because there's a lot of information that I prepared for today. Any questions, please feel free to ask again, if anyone wants to ask or say anything. Okay. So last thing about this, so in Jewish mysticism, again, I'm not talking about the religious Judaism. I'm talking about the Jewish tradition still holds the original codes of creation, although, like I said in the beginning of the call, for those of you who missed it, it has been distorted by the religious concept. So I'm not talking about the religious concept. I'm talking about the original codes of the bridal chamber. And it's also linked to the cosmic process of the soul's restoration, which in Hebrew, this word is also very, very powerfully, it has a very, very powerful energy, which this word is tikkun. That's the correction of the soul, the restoration of the soul, where the fractured part of creation, or the shadow, right? You can call it the fragmented parts of our own inner shadow as well, are brought back into divine unity, mirroring the union of the bride and the groom, of the masculine and feminine in sacred marriage. So this sacred union, and the word in Hebrew for that is zivug kadosh, is the essence of creating a wholeness that allows both divine energy to flow freely, nurturing human evolution and spiritual ascension. So one thing I can share with you, a little secret. So have you noticed that I am, first of all, I'm in the beginning of the call, some of you missed it. I asked everyone to open up their energy field and not just try to understand this information logically, but try to receive the codes from this information and to feel them. And just, so those of you who missed it, please make sure to just open up your energy field and see when I speak. You can even close your eyes. You don't have to look at me. And imagine some sort of a golden light kind of flowing your way. And every time I mention a word in Hebrew, which is a very, very high frequency language, which I use in my ceremonies and my, my high magic work with people, these words will ignite something in you. They will, for sure will ignite something in you. So please allow it. If you want to, of course, it's your choice to receive it or not. But if you do want to receive it, not just the understanding of it, but the understanding and the knowing of it, to really, I want to spark the knowing that's already inside of you. So, all right, so let's talk a little bit about the sacred sexual union. I mean, we have been talking about it, I guess, this whole time, but in essence, the bridal chamber is a powerful symbol, again, of the space where the divine integration occurs, representing the merging of opposites, representing also the merging of our own inner shadow, fragmented parts, to return back to unity, to return back to source. All righty, so let's talk a little bit about the tree of life. So the Kabbalistic tree of life is a blueprint for union. It's a blueprint it has many codes to original source of creation. We can talk about the tree of life probably for like 20 hours and not stop. It's a very, very, it's a very deep topic and a big rabbit hole. But here, because we are short on time, we're just going to talk about it from the perspective of the sacred union, which is very, very little. So it is a mystical diagram, and I'm sorry that I don't have the diagram for it today. I will try to make some for next time. I do have them for my initiation classes, but for now I couldn't do it for today. So it is a mystical diagram representing the structure of the universe and the soul's journey towards divine unity. So it is all the sfirot on the tree are portals that we as humans we must go through these different portals until we reach ascension. The problem is today, especially in the spiritual community, is that people try to get their way too fast. People are skipping steps. People are not doing the right work or the right purification work, or forgetting basic of living in integrity and honoring your word and honoring people's and honoring energy and honoring life. So there's so much that goes into it. But we cannot skip any steps on the tree of life. We must honor every portal, every sphira, when we rise up, so-called, or ascend in our soul's journey on the tree of life. So the 10 sphirot again on the tree correspond to the different aspects of existence, from the physical, which is the lower sphira, to the most spiritual connected source sphira up there. And each offers unique insights and wisdom and codes that we must integrate into the nature of the sacred union. So in the tree of life is not just a symbol, but a living blueprint for the sacred marriage, or hieros gamos, between the divine feminine and masculine. These energies are represented by sphirot of bina. Bina, the closest word I can say in English is understanding, like it's kind of like knowledge, and embodying feminine aspects. Embodying masculine aspects. And then we have chokhmah, which is more wisdom. It's the deepest wisdom, embodying the feminine. This union of wisdom and knowledge, they have to correspond. This is, by the way, one of my daily spells, I should say, or prayers. And I say, you know, I am knowledge, wisdom, and love. And these are, by the way, the 3 pillars of the sex priestess. We must have the knowledge, but we have to have the deep soul wisdom to use that knowledge, because knowledge alone can be dangerous. So we must have the wisdom, and above all, we must have the love. So this union is again, it's a central theme in the real, authentic Kabbalistic teachings, not the religious ones, symbolizing the creation of harmony and balance in the universe and within ourselves. Any questions, by the way, from anyone? No? Okay. The tree of life it's a very ancient symbols, one of the more ancient ones, deeply rooted in the mystical traditions, like I said. And it represents also the interconnectedness to all life, to the flow of divine energy, and the journey of the soul towards enlightenment. And that's why, again, I'm going to repeat this for the rest of my life. This is, the body must be purified. The body cannot be in the lower frequencies and elevate on the tree of life. Because again, if you, for example, are consuming animals, you are not actually interconnected to life. You cannot be interconnected and united with life itself, because you're united with death right now. So very, very important thing. It is a topic that we dive into more in the sex priestess initiation, because then we begin to master all the levels of reality and how to actually use these sfirot in our life and in our work. Alrighty. One last thing about the tree of life. So it's depicted also as a majestic tree, right? So you can have the image of the codes of the tree of life, but you can also see it as a regular tree with the roots deep in the earth and the branches reaching out into heaven. And this image is a potent representation of our spiritual journey, grounded in the physical world here as a human vessel, while reaching for higher consciousness throughout our life's journey. And each branch and each root and each leaf symbolizes different aspects of our being, from our physical body to our emotions and thoughts and spirits and all that. And it's a reminder that all parts of us are actually interconnected and must work together. And through this interconnectedness, we can achieve wholeness. And by the way, I know a lot of people always ask, especially when I do the ceremonies, like, what's my magic? And I can never answer that question. But this is one of the keys, because it is one of the main reasons I can do this magic, that people call it, is that I am able, first of all, I'm able to actually become the person. So I go into their subconscious with them. I don't just give you medicine, I become you. I cannot explain it in another way. And the second thing is that really seeing and knowing all the different aspects and the fragmented aspects of the person, of the human, and bringing them back into integration. So if you want to go to the bottom line of all the magic, it's the inner union. It's creating that integration of bringing all of the parts in you that got lost along the way, trauma, pain, fear, stories, blah, 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 bringing them back into a union, and do so with the most grace and love, although sometimes it doesn't look very graceful in a ceremony space. Okay. Let me see. If anyone has a question, I remind you, you can unmute yourself and talk, or if you have something to say. So one last thing about the tree of life. As we ascend the tree, we encounter one of the sfirot, which is called Yesod. That sphere, that portal, is associated with the subconscious and the moon. So here, our sexual energy is refined. It's becoming a channel for emotional healing and spiritual insights. On the physical body, you might see it as oh my gosh, the orange chakra. I forgot the name right now, but the orange chakra. If anyone wants to give me the name, because I totally forgot right now. So that sphere is correlated with that energy center in the body. And through the practices of sacred sexuality, which we learn, we begin to integrate our emotions and desires, transforming them into tools for spiritual growth. Higher up on the tree, we have Tiferet, and that sphere, that portal is the heart. It is the sun. That is the center of the tree, representing balance, beauty, and the sacred union of opposites. In the context of sacred sexuality, Tiferet is where the divine feminine and masculine energies within us begin to merge in this harmonious dance. And they're creating a very profound sense of oneness. And it is in this sphere that we experience the true power of sacred union, which is, again, a union not just of the physical, but also emotional, mental, and spiritual. The ultimate goal of sacred sexuality is, as represented by the tree of life, is the sacred union. So the merging, the unity, and the connection to source. In Kabbalistic tradition, the original ones, the tree of life is often associated with the Shekhinah, like we spoke about before. Remember the word Shekhinah, the divine feminine presence, which I call the divine mother, what people would call God, but we totally lost our way and turned the Shekhinah into a male figure, which, you know, a very dark male figure, which kind of like punishes us and rewards us for if we listen to him. And that's not the truth of source, of the energy that we all come from. We don't come from, you know, this punishment game, you know, punishment and reward game. We are pure essence. So when we engage in sacred sexual practices with the awareness of the tree of life, and again, this is just one practice, that one tool that we can use in our sex magic practices, the tree of life, we are not just connecting with our partner on a physical level, but are also tapping into the divine energies that flow through us. We literally become co-creators with the divine and with the divine mother, using our sexual energy to heal, to manifest, and to elevate our consciousness. Okay. Just give me 1 second. I need a sip of water. Is anyone getting anything from this? Is this interesting? Or is it like boring? Any thoughts? Because I've never given this class online before to a group. So would love to hear your thoughts. If anyone wants to talk. Are you there? Anyone? I don't know if anyone's there. Let me see who else is here, by the way. Some people joined. I see Jackson. I don't know you, but nice to meet you. Alisa, hello, my love. I don't know who BP is, but welcome. Giselle, hello, Giselle. Who else is here? Okay, I see. I'm so happy you're all here. All right, so anyone just wants to let me know that you can hear me, just so I know I'm not talking to myself. Hello, anyone? You can hear me, right? Oh, you can't unmute. Let me see. That's so weird. That's why. Allow participant. There we go. I think now you can unmute yourself.
Hello, Luna. This is
Hey,
so
I
good.
told you. I
we're
told you that
joining you.
I don't know how to do this.
We're joining you from our women's retreat in Mount Shasta. And such amazing information. So thank you so much.
I
Love
love you
you.
so much, beautiful. I'm so happy. I mean, so Maya Rose right now is having an actual retreat, and she joined this call, and I'm just so honored that you're
I
here.
think a lot of us joined this call. If you look at Tina's screen, there's some other
Tina, my
women
love,
joining
is here.
the living room. So yeah, this is amazing. Goes right into like what we've been talking about. So thank you for your work. We love you so much. This is awesome.
I love you. Thank you, my love. Thank you so much. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, so like I told you guys, this is my first time doing the Zoom thing. So technically I am learning, I'm getting better. This is very interesting. Okay. So yeah, so the ultimate goal, sorry, I'm skipping this because we have more stuff to discuss today. What time is it? Okay, I want to make sure that we at least do some things. So by the way, now that you can unmute yourself, does anyone have a question that they want to ask or comment?
You're amazing. I love you.
Oh, I love you, sweetheart. Thank you. That wasn't a question, but that was very sweet. I love you, Elisa. So let me see. Okay. So, let's talk about the divine child a little bit. So one of the key concepts that we talked about before, in occult traditions, is the idea of polarity. So that interplay between opposites, of course, the feminine and the masculine, such as light and dark, masculine and feminine, which, let me go on a rant here a little bit. Makes me very, very angry to see how this modern society is trying to distort the very basic sacred concept of a feminine and masculine, and we really must honor these polarities. I mean, the law of polarity is one of the basic laws of the cosmos. And once we distort that, once we, people, I mean, it's not going to happen, obviously, because the light is already won, and the light is the only thing that is here in this world at the end of the day after this game. But if humanity is trying to distort the word, even woman or man, it is very, very, very dangerous for our evolution, very dangerous for our sovereignty as humans. And again, I can go on a rant about it, but I won't. Okay. So the sacred union is seen as the reconciliation of these polarities, so leading to the creation of a new, higher state of being, the alchemical child, as we talked about. This one of the names for this space and its creation. This is not merely a metaphor, but also a literal process of spiritual evolution, where the merging of the feminine and masculine gives birth to the divine child, a symbol of enlightenment and spiritual rebirth. And again, this is why it's important to pay attention to the words we're using. Because if I say a divine child, that means that the father and the mother, the feminine and masculine polarities, must also walk the divine path. So, one of my classes that I'm working on is how to create magical children. And it is so basic, really, but we just forgot. We all have this information in our DNA. We just forgot. And for example, to have a mother consuming flesh and blood of animals while she's pregnant, drinking alcohol, sleeping with other men, or having a father, right, sleeping with another woman, or consuming very, very bad drugs, or drinking alcohol, or cursing and speaking bad words, that enters the creation of their child, of their physical child. And so we forgot how to actually create divine children, elevated souls into the world. And I mean, again, this is another rabbit hole, but just to give you a little bit of that, because I can go into that also for hours too. I have to stop myself. In alchemical terms, this process is often described as the conjunction. It is the sacred marriage of the sun, the masculine principle, and the moon, which is the feminine principle. The union produces the philosopher's stone, which I'm sure all of you probably heard of, especially from Harry Potter. I mean, come on. Which is a symbol of ultimate wisdom and the key to immortality. By the way, everyone, I am a Harry Potter huge fan. If you haven't noticed yet, I got the tattoo right here. I'm going to show you, just for people who didn't see it. I got my 9 3/4 here, just so you will understand how much I love Harry Potter. Okay, now we go back to our class. In the context of sacred sexuality, the conjunction represents the merging of partners in a way that transcends the physical, allowing them to access higher state of consciousness and divine knowledge. So there's more of the conjunction coming later on. I'm gonna create also a short book about this topic that will go a little bit deeper. So you will be able to find it on my website sometime this year. I'm just working on so many things. So the role of, let's talk a little bit about ritual and symbolism. In my Sex Priestess initiation, we discuss a lot about ritual and symbolism because they are keys. And like really knowing what a ritual means not just to do a ritual. Oh, let's do a new moon ritual. Let's do this. No, no, no. There's so much power in honoring an actual ritual, especially when you combine it with the higher gnosis and the higher knowledge and the physical symbols, so symbolism. And you know that I like sigils and I like working with sigils, but we really have to understand what sigils mean, what symbols mean, what magical symbols mean, and how to use them correctly, and also how to harness the power of a symbol. Because guess what, people, and I know that most of you know this entire reality is manipulated and controlled by symbols and by magic. And it's harnessing our own life force and using it against us. So what we have to do right now as we evolve is come at it, right, so to speak, with white magic, with truth codes, with actual purity and actual sacredness, okay, in all levels of our life, and so that we are completely sovereign, and no energy and no magic can be used against us or harness our own life force. So hopefully that makes sense. So ritual and symbolism play a crucial role in both Kabbalistic and occult practices as well, not just in the temple. And especially when it's related to the sacred union. These traditions teach us that through ritual, we can create sacred space, align with divine forces, and channel our sexual energy towards spiritual goals. Okay. If we go back to Kabbalah, the original codes of Kabbalah, the ritual of the Shabbat, like what people know in America as the Sabbath, but it's called Shabbat, is often viewed as a time for sacred union. The mystical tradition holds that on the Shabbat, the Shekhinah, remember that pure source essence, the divine feminine presence, descends down to earth to unite with the divine masculine, symbolizing the cosmic union of so-called God, source, and humanity. And again, religious has distorted it into the view of a male God, as we spoke, but we know the truth. This union is mirrored in the physical world through the intimate union of partners who are encouraged to come together in lovemaking and devotion, especially at that time. And again, this is another rabbit hole, which I'm going to teach later, especially on what to do and like timing of having sex and choosing the timing of making love to your partner, making love to yourself, making love to the cosmos. These are also very important. And they also, by the way, they vary between every couple. So don't think that there is a one way fits everyone. Oh, you have to do your sex magic at this time in this way. No. It's actually what I want to bring people to is their own soul gnosis and truth, so that they can create those rituals and those symbols and that magic. They can co-create it with the mother, with the divine, and bring new magic into the world. We actually need new codes of light magic in this world, but we have to do it right. And we have to birth that alchemy of new magic, that alchemical child of new magic, from purity. And there is no more excuses of not walking this sacred path, sleeping with other people, eating animals, lying to people, manipulating. We don't have no more time for this shit. Okay. So rituals are also designed to invoke and balance the divine feminine and masculine energy within us. Rituals, especially in the occult tradition, if we look at occult tradition, they may involve the use of specific symbols. So in this modern occult traditions that again have been very distorted by what I call the dark wizards, the dark forces. And when I say dark wizards, I mean dark wizards. These are actually people who create with very, very baneful black magic. That's basically all I mean. So these rituals involve, a lot of symbols like the chalice and the blade, right? So they represent the feminine and the masculine. And when we engage in such occult rituals, which I will never engage in because they are that you have to understand something. When you are creating a magic ritual, the moment of creating that ritual, it's like creating a baby, it's like creating a book. The moment of creation, whatever intention, whatever force ignited and provoked that original ritual or magic is going to stay there forever. So a lot of people today, right, they read books about magic, and they buy the blade, and they buy the chalice, and they buy all these magical tools and the candles and all that. And I love candles, don't get me wrong, or and they buy the dagger, or they buy the crystals, or they buy the sword, and sword is a dagger, sorry, the same thing. But they copy they copy very baneful magic codes that were created not from a divine essence. Hopefully you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Hopefully I'm explaining it correctly. So I really want to bring people, first of all, remind them about how powerful they are, and second of all, that we can create our own new, let's birth a new alchemical child of a divine high level magic that is also connected to the source and the truth and everything that is sacred about us, humanity. Okay. Any questions, anyone? Or comments? Okay. All right. So again, while these tools that I mentioned, they can be enjoyable and they can be fun if you use them correctly, and they can stimulate the imagination, they're not essential, especially for us sex priestesses, especially for those of us who want to, again, counterpart with white, elevated, sacred magic and create a better world right now. The feminine ways of the temple require our presence and attunement to the moment, and allowing life to emerge in the here and now, and being very, very present with life itself. We don't necessarily need all the physical tools. All right, so we talked about this. Let's talk a little bit about Kundalini energy. Yay, Kundalini. Okay, so just a little mention. So Kundalini is a very known topic also today within the world of Tantra and sacred sexuality. The activation of the Kundalini serpents, which is a concept that's rooted both in Eastern and Western esoteric traditions, is closely tied to the sacred sexual union. So Kundalini is actually life force. I personally don't like the word Kundalini. I find that it actually lacks, ironically, the word itself lacks life force. So I don't really like to use that word so much, but just for the sake of this conversation right now. Often it's depicted as those two coiled serpents that you see all the time at the base of the spine, represents a sort of dormant spiritual potential. So through the real sacred sexual practices, this energy can be activated and guided up the spine, up the tree of life, remember, activating all the centers, the chakras, and leading to a profound spiritual awakening. The union of our life force, Kundalini, with the divine consciousness in the crown chakra, and by the way, it's not just happening in the crown, it's happening a little bit above too, is seen as the ultimate sacred union, resulting in actual enlightenment and not the so-called fake enlightenment we see today so much, and the merging of the individual soul with the universal consciousness. All right. Did anyone have, no, I thought someone had a question. Okay. So there is, I don't know if some of you heard about the concept of also Eros and Thanatos, which comes from also a cult philosophy. So Eros is the life force and Thanatos is the death force. This is another inner union, which I always talk about. I also write about it in the Sex Priestess Manual a little bit in the end. So these are, again, complementary energies that play a very crucial role in sacred sexual union. Eros representing the creative life affirming force of love and desire, while Thanatos symbolizes the transformative power of death and dissolution. We also see it in the Kali image, right? The Kali symbolism, which is very, very powerful. And the sacred union often involves this interplay of these two forces. It's like a dance and a sexual union of these forces, really. Okay. So I don't have, we don't have much time, and I have so much more. Maybe I'll do another class, and because I still have so much more I want to talk about. I'm for sure going to have another class. Just stay tuned soon, and hopefully I can do this better with all the sending the emails and everything. I'm pretty sure like most people did not get the right email for this class, but I'll do it better for next time. So a little word about sex magic, which is what my school is. So sex magic is a very well-known aspect of occult practices, as we know today, where sexual energy is harnessed and directed towards a specific magical intention. But there is so much more to sex magic, and hence why I started a school. The act of sacred sexual union is in a ritualistic context, is believed to amplify the power of any magical working. So again, our life force, obviously, especially our sexual life force, can awaken and provoke and evoke and harness and amplify any magical workings, making it possible to achieve very profound and spiritual and material results. This practice often involves the creation of sacred space, invocation of specific deities, as we call them, or spiritual forces, which we have to do correctly, and the use of symbols, like we spoke about, and incantations, which are basically spells, to channel sexual energy towards a desired outcome. Spells are very important because I don't know if you all know, but you all know the words abracadabra, right? That's also from Harry Potter, but it's really not used correctly in Harry Potter movies. So evra kedabra is a word in Aramaic, which is ancient Hebrew. Evra kedabra literally translates to I will create what I speak. That's literally what abracadabra means, guys. So the words, the spells we use are very, very important. Alrighty, so we're gonna skip this because I want to still go over some stuff. And we can do this another time. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys and let me know if you can see it. Hopefully I can do this. Where is the share button? View. I know this. Mm, I remembered where it was before and now I don't. Okay, share. Does anyone remember where the share screen button is? Tell me. I thought it was in the view, but it's not. Hmm. Anyone? Do you guys know where the share screen button is? Shauna, help me out.
If you hover at the bottom, do you have anything that says participant chat, anything like that?
Participants.
Okay, there
Mhm.
should be a line of other things, and one of them should be a square with an up arrow. It might be
Share.
green on your screen.
Oh,
That's
got
the
it.
one.
Thank you. Thank you, my love. Okay, so I'm just gonna share this. Do you guys see it? You guys able to see the screen?
Now we can.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. Wonderful. So I'm just gonna put this on full screen so you can see it a little better. Da, da, da. Present magic. Okay, so let me move this over here. So this is just a little presentation I made for the Sex Magic School for 2025. I'm so excited about everything that's coming, and I'm not even sharing the whole thing now because there's so much to share. So just a few words about every, how do we move this? Wait, the magic is gonna happen. Hold on. There we go. How do you move this? Stop. There we go. Nope. See, I told you this is going to be interesting with me. Now, if you just give me 1 minute, because I don't know how to do this. Hold on. How do I get out of this? Okay. Go back to the beginning. All right. Let's do this. Okay. I don't know what this means. I'm just going to keep it like this. Hopefully you guys can see well. All right. So for those of you who are interested in the Godman program, I'm only getting one person, one man for this year. I'm sorry, I cannot take more. It's going to be a very busy year for me, and I'm focused on the new initiation. So this is 5 months of private intensing coaching with me just for men. For one man for this year, the price is $9,999. And you have to book an interview on my website. If you have any questions, you can contact me later. Another thing is the couples retreat. So the Sex Magic couples retreat is going to come in 2025. And I'm so excited because this has been a work in the making for a long time, and it's going to be extremely intense. And not for the faint of hearts, let's put it that way. The waiting list is open now, so you can book an interview also on my website and sign up your name for the waiting list. When it comes to the private ceremonies, I am closed until April of 2025. So there is a waiting list, and you guys can sign up to the waiting list if you want a private ceremony with me. This is both for couples and singles. This is the price, by the way, here. And those of you who joined today will also get $1,000 off. So just remind me that you came to my first online class. And yeah, you can join the waiting list right now if you want a private ceremony. It will start after April, no, probably May, because April I have to be in Canada. So from May 2025, I will start again. And now I want to share the most exciting news, which is the Sex Priestess initiation. And I've been doing this initiation for 10 years. And I've been doing it one-on-one with women. And it's been incredible. But this initiation is constantly evolving. It's constantly shifting. It's a living creature. And this year, for the first year, I'm doing it as a group. So it's going to be a small group of probably 5, 6 women's. Why did I say women's? Because I still want to work very intimately with women. I don't want to have a too big of a group. So I'm going to keep it 5 or 6 women only. And this year it's going to be the 666 initiation. And if you're wondering why it's 666, I will get to it. So over here, after 9 books, 7 cycles of initiation, which will be the 8th cycle, nearly 100 ceremonies and endless fairy dust, here we are. And so the guides for all the work that I do, including the books and the ceremonies and everything I speak about, and my initiation especially, is the Sisters of the Temple, and they will guide our journey. And the teachings are coming directly from the dimension of the temple to the very few women who are ready to embody the codes of the mother and birth the new world. Now, this year I'm doing something really fun. As you all know, I love Harry Potter. So this year, because the temple already works with specific animals, I thought it would be so fun to have a few houses. So we're going to have a few school powers, and each woman is going to have her own unique animal power. This is very separate than your spirit animal, which those of you who work with me know what I mean. But we have the cats, which are more the big cats, which are creative and expressive aspects of sexuality, very sensual, very pleasurable, and they like erotic expression. We have the snakes, which are magical practices and rituals, people who are their power is more centered within magical practices and ritual, like the witch, spellcraft, divination, and mystical practices. And then we have the owls, more emotional, physical, and spiritual healing. These are the healers of the group. We have energy work, healing rituals, and nurturing practices. This is just a very, very basic explanation of this topic, but this would be very fun for us to do. So why 666? Because I don't want to keep you too long, I wrote a long thing in my website in the initiation page on explaining why I called this specific year, the 2025, this initiation, the 666 initiation. It's very deep. It's actually a very sacred, powerful number, which we are reclaiming from black magic. And we are, again, transmuting it back into light, back into power, back into love, and especially to truth. So we are reverting to our original state. So this is another thing I wanted to go over with you now, but you can read about this in my website. So I'm not going to go into too deep about it right now. This is very interesting to really understand the number of 666. It's also 666 is if you put it together, it's 18, and it's a very in the spiritual Jewish tradition, again, not the religious one. It is the number of life. Chai is the number of life. You know, gematria in Hebrew letters are very much alive, and gematria, the word chai is 18. So it's a very, very powerful number. So we are bringing life into the world, sisters. So to go over quickly, so the 666 initiation, we have 6 months of initiation with me in a small group. We have 6 days of retreat ceremonies, and I use the word retreat very loosely because we're not going to be doing a lot of retreating. We're going to be doing a lot of work. And then we have 6 weeks of private coaching. So you can take these 6 weeks of private coaching after, if you want it, or you can take it during. So you can take every month, you can book a private session with me so we can work on your own private journey in this initiation. Then we also have weekly sessions with our partners. I did that also when I did one-on-one work with women, and it will be very interesting to do it in a group setting. So you can bring, if you're in a partnership, you can bring your partner, and also those who, by the way, those of you who are single, you should stay for this class because we're still going to learn a lot of, I'm going to teach you what I do with couples. I'm going to teach you a lot of the work that I do with couples and how to elevate the sacred union together. So it will be very interesting. You must have an interview for this initiation. So book an interview with me. It costs $50, and then you get that $50 back when you sign up. So you just book it on the website, and then we can schedule an interview. So this is just a glimpse from the first year initiation. So the soul's true mission of the priestess, working with our ancestors and original codes, connecting with the temple, the sisters, Isis and Lilith, mastering shadow work and the subconscious, transmuting sexual energy and priestess practices, alchemy and sex magic mastery, basic mastery of modern magic, hermetic principles, tree of life, sigils, servitors, which is really, really great, money magic, sacred geometry, and more. And we're gonna do together the ancestral union ritual, which I have learned from my own ancestors and the temple last year. Very powerful. It's a whole journey, like a month journey. It's very powerful. Activating sexual energy in the feminine body, understanding and working with the masculine. So we can, as women, as feminine embodiment of the world, how to actually work with the masculine energy in all levels, not just with your partner, but with your brothers, with your children, with all of them. Sex magic and the modern priestess, womb wisdom, and the highest soul mission, which really at the end, I really want all of us to just live our highest soul's mission. Now, this initiation, I told you, it's getting bigger and more expanded every single year. And this year, it had to move to 3 years because there is so much more information. And so the first year is it's open for everyone. You will have to do an interview and see if you're aligned with this. And if this is the path for you. But the second and third level, which is the certification path, I'm going to have to screen out a few women next year because, again, this is a path of absolute purity. And so if women are not ready for the second and third level, they won't be able to join. But it doesn't matter. The first one is for everyone, and it's for every woman. It's not just, if you want to be a sex priestess. Every woman can hold the codes of the sex priestess. That's why I wrote the book, The Sex Priestess Manual, and it's a huge one if some of you have it, because every woman can and should use the wisdom of the sex priestess. So year 2 and 3 later on, they are certification path. We did that. I'm sorry. Let's move on to this one. Here we go. So the certificate focus is mastery of sacred sexuality and sex magic practices, to do it obviously also with other people. Deep understanding of divine feminine and masculine energies, ritual and ceremony creation, advanced rituals and practices, energy healing and spiritual leadership, how to guide others, hold ceremonies, and also embody the priestess role within a ceremony. Healing practices that I use in ceremonies, deep shamanic work, and mastering the subconscious, living as a modern priestess and honoring the sacred path. Now, after each level, after each year, we are going to have the retreat space, which again, just for lack of a better word, I'm using retreat. Very 6 intensive days with medicine journey with me, and I'm gonna teach you all the rituals of the temple, which I haven't done with anyone, only with women who are who finished the first year initiation. And then the second year will be different rituals, more intense one that I can teach you. So every year we'll have their own rituals and practices. And we're gonna also have fun. We're gonna have raw vegan food, massages, or temazcal. It depends on the location. If we're doing in Mexico, or if we do it in the United States, or if we do it in Thailand, we're going to decide on the location, by the way, within the group, because it's a small group. So we're going to decide on that together. That should be fun. All right. And then the certification. So I'm gonna begin to start a priestess list on my website, which, you know, I'm gonna have to start doing this, because first of all, I cannot do ceremonies and work for all the people in the world, just one person. And so I wanted to start initiating women to do this work as well. And so I'm going to have a world priestess list on my website for those who finished the 3 years. And people, you know, for example, Jaden lives in Canada. Someone wants to do a ceremony in Canada, they go directly to Jaden and work with Jaden if they know that she is doing the work of the temple. So this is kind of the general idea. Also, we're going to have a Facebook group community where we can just share and support each other. This we kind of already discussed. It's kind of the same thing. So again, I work with powerful women to embody their full potential so they can change the world. The world needs the true temple priestess to rise more than ever. Cannot stress that enough. And I really do know with every part of my being that sacred sisterhood will save the world. And I keep saying that all the time. Now, let's talk about pricing. So this is going to be, like I said, the first circle of this incredible new initiation. And again, this is not an online course. This is not a regular retreat too. This is an actual initiation. This is going to be intense. It's not for everyone. So the first year is $18,000. The retreat is $7,000. The full price is $25,000. If you get the early bird, which is going to be until my human birthday this year, November 30, you will get $10,000 off. So it's going to be $11,000 for the year and $4,444 for the retreat, bringing the total for a little bit over $15,000. You have payment plans. And another special offer for those of you who sign up for the early bird. Every woman who registers for the early bird until November 30 will receive an additional 3 private couple sessions with me, or another discount, $1,000, over $1,000 discount for a private ceremony. So that you can use that in the future or anytime. Now, I want to open this for Q&A. If anyone has questions, if anyone wants to share what they got from this class, I want to make sure to do more classes in the future. And I just want to know if you guys got something out of it.
So Luna, I just want to
Hi,
say
sweetie.
thank you. I have had a very religious upbringing. Some people know this about me, some don't. And one of the aspects of it is we studied a lot of the original traditions, like from afar, but I knew enough that this landed in a lot of places where it was a gift. Just tonight alone was a gift because it reshaped so much of my learning into the place where it actually belongs. And so I just wanted to say the deepest and sincerest thank you, because all of the things, the tree of life, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the ritual and symbolism, the things that are actual truth codes and not just the old way of being taught these things. So I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing this tonight. It's beautiful.
So much pleasure, my love. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here and taking it and receiving it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Anyone else wants to share, ask, introduce yourself, to show your pretty face, anything? I just always see Patrick smiling, really, really, really wide smile. I'm doing a ceremony with you guys this weekend. You gotta prepare yourself. Anyone else? How about I choose someone? I'll put you on the spot. How about Martina?
I knew it.
I-
Okay, I'm gonna say something similar because I have a similar feeling as I don't know who spoke before me. Thank you so much. I have been following you for a while, Luna, and we connected on a personal level. So I just wanted to say that this knowledge and wisdom you share, it's so needed. It's the perfect timing for that. I feel like it's so important and it's been coming to me all the time. It's like coming to me, the protection we need to do around us to generate the good and to generate the good magic, right? So we're aware of what's happening around us and we don't want to not see it, but we want to be part of it, not be afraid of it, let's say. So I'm very, very, very grateful for your teachings. Thank you so much. I think it's been a lot of information from different places today, which I need to integrate. So I also take my time for integration and probably come back to you soon. But I bow to you. I am thankful for your knowledge and wisdom, and please keep sharing what you're sharing. It's amazing. Like I've read almost all your books. So, and I feel myself part of it already. I'm a part of it. So
You definitely are. Yes.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I feel that. I feel it's beautiful. And we have to spread more word about this. So yeah, all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here too. Who else wants to share? Oh, I see Pallavi's here. I'm so glad you could join, dear.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for having me and yeah, just echoing what the other sisters have shared. It's coming across your teachings, like I prayed for it. I couldn't find it anywhere else. And you're doing such great service to humanity, and just want to send you a lot of support and love. And I'm glad I get to be here and also see you in this new phase of your offerings, and hope that the angels will continue supporting you.
Oh, thank you so much, love. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you in New York, by the way. I'll keep in touch with you as soon as I know more.
I have to say, it from following your work when I was single, like what was able to bloom is this incredible, loving, devotional relationship I'm in now, and a beautiful sex life as well, where we do ceremony and devotion, have a lot of fun as well. So the practices work and they're very powerful.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that. And fuck yeah, you should have fun, of course. Of course. That sounds amazing. I'm so happy, dear. Thank you. Who else wants to share before we close off for today?
I have a question, Luna. Is the practices and the rituals that you teach, do they only support heterosexual couples, or is it
Good
for all the love?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Complex answer. So the simple answer is, well, I guess there is no simple answer. It's a yes and a no, because the spiritual alchemy that of the teachings that I use can be used by same-sex couples for sure. The physical alchemy cannot, for obviously a very obvious reason. So we are still in a very polarized body of a man and a woman, as much as people are trying to distort that truth, like I said. So you can definitely, a same-sex couple can definitely use this knowledge in a more energetic aspect. And I would love if they do, actually. It's very needed. I've met couples, same-sex couples, who are holding more codes of the sacred union than most heterosexual couples I know. So it's very possible. Although the physical aspect of it, this physical alchemy of it's just not going to happen. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course, dear. Anyone else? How about Tina?
Hi, Luna.
Hi.
I miss you.
You.
Thank you. You look so good. Thank you for doing this class. I hope you are you going to keep doing these weekly?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure weekly yet because I'm super busy this month too, but I
Oh, yeah.
definitely want to start doing more classes. Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, thank you. It's very helpful because, you know, you talked a lot about this stuff during our ceremony time together. And
Mhm.
but it's a lot, and some of it's new concepts and new words, and so it's good to hear it repeatedly. So yeah.
It's a
So
lot for sure.
it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. But I love seeing you in this environment and bringing your light out into the world, in front of more people. It's beautiful. So
Thank you so much, beautiful. Thank you for being here. And thank you for the sister that's sitting next to you. I don't know. Hello.
Ashley,
Thank you
Hi.
for listening. Thanks for being here too. Hi, dear. Wonderful. I'm so happy you guys are here. So one last call for questions before we wrap this up.
Luna, you talked about the timing of things. You
Mhm.
referenced that the timing of making love, even the timing of making love to the cosmos. Is there a place we could go just to start referencing a little more information on that topic? Which
So
book would we?
it's not in the books yet. Like,
Okay.
so the all the books that I wrote, which are, most of them are very big, as you know, they're just like the basics of the basics of the basics, like I feel like I haven't even started yet. So there's going to be more advanced books later on. It takes so much work. That's one of the things that I also going to be teaching in initiation is the use of astrology. So astrological timing, but not necessarily in the way that the modern astrology is using today, because again, there is a fine balance of using astrology itself, which is a wonderful science. There is also the science that Tina is teaching, by the way. Tina is teaching a beautiful science, and maybe she can share about it later too if she wants. So you can use all these amazing sciences and tools, and in your own process of your own growth as a magical being, as a priestess, as anything you want to call yourself, a witch or anything, you are going to, I'm just going to put it very simply, you're going to find that you have your own timing within the cosmos. So I'm just trying to put it in a very simple
That's
term.
what that's what I was expecting, because it's a very sovereign journey. I've noticed that.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I'm embodying that in a way that feels good and aligned and harmonious for me. And at the same time, it's an area of learning I'd like to deepen.
Exactly. Beautiful. And you see, you already feel it naturally because it's, this, you already have all this knowledge, right? So it's just about, like, I mean, really what I'm here for is just like pushing the right buttons and reminding you on how you can access this information from your own source, which you have to walk the sacred path. I keep saying this. You have to keep the purity of the physical vessel in every single way. You have to do the spiritual work. You have the commitment, the integrity has to be there in every step of the way. And then that pure channel. So basically all the 3 years of initiation and all the work that I do and whatever, all this stuff is to get you to delete all the programs that you kind of received in this world, bring you to the original state, so that the information, just like it flows for me, it will flow for you. Like, and you just live it. It's not about, you just live it. You are it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Put it simply. Wonderful. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful that you're all here. Seeing all of your faces makes me very, very happy and honored. And I will thank you so much, Tanya. And I will see you next time. I don't really know how I'm gonna do this next time or when, but I will do this again. This is great, and there's so much information I want to share with people. It's endless. So we're gonna keep doing this. And if anyone wants to work with me, keep in touch. And I love you very much. I'm sending you fairy dust, and I will see you soon, hopefully, everyone.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone. Thank you.
Good night.